Have you ever had a woman look at you like you were the only man in the world, only to act the very next day as if you didn't even exist? That sudden shift is brutal. One moment she's warm, laughing, leaning in close, making you feel like you've finally figured her out. The next, she's distant, cold, untouchable, and you're left questioning everything. What did I say wrong? Did she lose interest, or is she playing some invisible game? I can't see. You start replaying her texts, analyzing every detail of the last conversation. You wonder if you missed a signal or if you said something stupid. The more you think about it, the more confused you get. And that's the trap, because it's not just you. Almost every man has felt this exact frustration. The truth is, women may look confident and in control on the surface, but underneath, there are hidden patterns at work. Psychological triggers buried deep inside quietly guide how she reacts, how she attaches, and how she decides whether to pull you closer or push you away. Here's the dangerous part. Most men never recognize these patterns until it's too late. They lose her attraction. They lose her respect. And eventually, they lose the power to lead the relationship. But you're here because you don't want to be blind. You want to understand what's really happening beneath the surface. And that's exactly what you're about to see. In this video, I'll reveal the invisible dynamics that control her emotions and show you how to read them before they take control of you. Stay with me until the very end, because once you see this, you'll never look at women the same way again. Before we dive in, drop a quick comment saying, "I'm in" if you've ever been through this roller coaster with a woman. You're not alone, and your story might help another man watching this right now. Every man has seen this play out. She posts a photo online, maybe a simple selfie or a casual moment, and within minutes her notifications explode. Dozens of likes, comments, and fire emojis roll in, and each one gives her a tiny rush of validation. It doesn't stop at social media. It's in the way men glance at her when she walks into a room, or the way coworkers laugh at her jokes. Attention is everywhere, and it works like fuel feeding her sense of identity and desirability. Here's the part most men don't realize. She doesn't have to like the person giving it. She doesn't even have to respect them. What she craves is the feeling itself, the reminder that she matters in someone else's world. Over time, this can become less of a boost and more of an addiction. When the stream of attention slows down, she starts to feel restless. Doubt creeps in. She wonders if she's losing her charm, if someone else has taken the spotlight. That's when the overthinking begins. And here's where men fall into the trap. They see her craving attention, and they think the way to win her is by giving more and more of it. But that only makes them blend into the noise. It makes them another source of validation, easy to gain and easy to forget. The smarter move is to step outside that cycle. Instead of chasing her with endless compliments, you position yourself as the man who values her but doesn't need to compete with the crowd. Your attention becomes rare, deliberate, and meaningful. And that's exactly why it stands out. In a world where everyone is trying to feed her addiction, the man who isn't hooked on giving it becomes the one she can't ignore. You've probably experienced this before. You send her a short, casual text, maybe just okay, or sounds good, and think nothing of it. Hours later, she replies with a question that catches you off guard. "Are you mad at me to you? It was just a quick message. No big deal." But to her, that single word became a spark that ignited a fire of possibilities in her mind. This is how the spiral starts. Her brain doesn't just process events, it builds entire stories out of them. A pause in your response feels like rejection. A shift in your tone becomes proof that something is wrong. A change in your routine convinces her that your interest is fading. Each detail is magnified under her emotional microscope until it transforms into a full narrative. She feels as if it's already real. Here's the catch once she feels it. Logic doesn't matter. The imagined story becomes reality in her emotional world. Joy flips into anxiety. Curiosity flips into fear. Confidence flips into doubt, all in a matter of minutes. And if you don't recognize what's happening, you'll get pulled straight into that storm. So how do you handle it? Not by feeding the spiral. If you start over-explaining or defending yourself, you only add fuel to the fire. The better move is calm, grounded clarity. Keep your communication simple and light, even playful when possible. Show stability instead of panic. Because what she really wants is not endless reassurance. It's the energy of a man who isn't shaken by her storm. That's the difference. Most men drown in her overthinking, but the one who stays steady through it becomes the anchor she didn't know she was searching for. Imagine the most attractive woman you know, the one who turns heads when she walks into a room, the one people describe as out of your league. Now here's the part most men don't realize. Even she can stare into the mirror and find something to hate. A small blemish, a single strand of hair out of place, a curve that doesn't match the images she scrolls past on social media. To her, these tiny imperfections don't just exist, they feel like proof that she's not enough. She might be the most complimented woman you know, but you'd be shocked at what actually makes her cry. Like a photo from high school she still can't delete, a harmless comment from her mom, a night she wore the wrong dress and never told anyone how broken she felt after. Because no matter how perfect she looks, she's still carrying 1,000 little echoes of not being enough. This is the hidden weight many women carry. They live in a world of constant comparison. Perfectly filtered photos, influencers who seem flawless, friends who only share their best moments. Every image whispers the same message. You should be better. Even compliments can't erase it. A careless remark from years ago, or one bad photo she hates, can echo in her mind for years. Now here's the danger for men. When you shower her with endless flattery, you might think you're helping, but in reality, you can feed the very insecurity that drives her obsession. She starts chasing your words instead of trusting her own worth. So how do you handle it differently instead of giving shallow praise? You notice the traits she values but secretly doubts. Her intelligence, her creativity, her resilience. You highlight the qualities that go deeper than looks. That doesn't just boost her mood, it builds trust. Because you're not another guy trying to charm her. You're the one who actually sees her. That's the shift. Most men treat insecurity like a problem to patch with compliments. But the man who recognizes it without judgment becomes the one she feels safe opening up to. And safety, more than beauty, is what builds lasting connection. Now here's where most men lose her without even realizing it. They say the right thing, but she doesn't believe it. Why? Because she's heard it before, from guys who vanished, from guys who wanted something. And that's what makes your words dangerous if you don't know how to use them right. She doesn't need another compliment. She needs confirmation that what she hides is still seen and safe. Every man has seen it happen. A woman hears the right words at the right time, and her entire mood shifts. Her smile widens, her defenses lower, and suddenly she's leaning in closer. It doesn't matter if she's been guarded or distant. One well-placed compliment can pierce through all of that in seconds. That's the hidden power of flattery. But here's the key. It's not about throwing random praise. It's about precision. A line like "you're beautiful" means little to a woman who hears it 10 times a day. But a line like, "I love the way your laugh fills the room," or "you're sharper than most people I talk to," cuts straight to the insecurities she hides and the recognition she secretly craves. That's why it feels so powerful. It touches the places she doubts the most. And once she feels seen in that way, her perception of you shifts. You're no longer just another man in the crowd. You're the one who gets her, the one who notices what others overlook. That feeling creates trust, attachment, and sometimes even dependence. This is why flattery is both powerful and dangerous. The wrong men use it to manipulate. They study her weak points and press them for control. But you don't need to play that game. The stronger move is to use flattery with intention sparingly, honestly, and only when it reinforces traits that matter. Because when every other man drowns her in shallow compliments, you'll stand out as the one whose words actually mean something. And meaning, not repetition, is what builds real influence. You've probably seen this happen. A woman meets a man, and within days, she's convinced he's different. She dives headfirst into the relationship, imagining the future before the foundation is even real. Late-night conversations feel magical. Weekend plans feel like destiny. Every red flag is ignored. Every inner voice telling her to slow down is drowned out by the rush of emotions. To her, it feels like fate. To you, it can feel like a dream. But the danger is hidden in that speed. When emotions take the wheel, logic gets pushed aside. Decisions aren't built on consistency or character. They're built on the high of the moment. That's why she might seem so invested so quickly, but then swing the other way just as fast. The same impulsiveness that pulled her in can push her out, leaving you wondering how something so intense collapsed overnight. Most men make the mistake of riding that wave with her. They match her speed, mirror her fantasies, and lose themselves in the rush. When the crash comes, and it always does, they're left stunned, hurt, and confused. The smarter play is to pace the connection. Enjoy the energy, but don't build castles on it. Set the rhythm instead of letting emotions dictate everything. When you stay grounded, you create contrast. While she's swept away in her feelings, you're the anchor. And that steadiness not only protects you, it makes her feel even more drawn to you, because in the middle of her storm, you're the one who doesn't break. That's how impulsive love stops being a trap. It becomes a moment where you prove you're not just another man caught up in emotions. You're the one who leads through them. Imagine this. She's in a relationship that drains her, full of red flags everyone else can see clearly. He disrespects her. He pulls away, maybe even betrays her trust. Yet she stays. She forgives. She makes excuses for him that she doesn't even believe. Why? Because the thought of being left behind feels worse than the pain she's already in. That's the power of the fear of abandonment. It's not just sadness, it's panic. The idea of losing the connection triggers something primal, something that rewires her choices. She might chase a man who's already halfway out the door, not because she truly wants him, but because she can't face the emptiness of him leaving. And when that fear is active, logic doesn't stand a chance. She'll cling to the familiar, even if it hurts, rather than risk the unknown. Most men misunderstand this. They think her loyalty in these moments means she's fully invested in love. But often, she's invested in her fear. That's why she can forgive betrayals, overlook disrespect, and hold on to something that's already broken. So how should you respond when you sense this fear? Not by feeding it, If you make yourself her entire source of security, she'll attach to you out of anxiety, not desire. The better move is to embody independence. Show that you value the relationship but don't fear the outcome. That subtle difference shifts the energy completely, because when she sees a man who chooses her freely but doesn't need her to survive, the fear loses its grip, and that's when attraction, not desperation, begins to drive the connection. Think about the woman who lights up every room she walks into. She's the one laughing the loudest, telling stories, teasing everyone around her. On the surface, she looks confident, untouchable, even fearless. But what most men don't see is that behind that sparkle, there's armor built from years of disappointments, betrayals, and heartbreaks. Her sarcasm, her quick comebacks, even her "I don't need anyone" attitude aren't just personality traits. They're shields. These walls serve a purpose. They protect her from the pain of being vulnerable again. Every time she hears a compliment, she weighs it against the possibility of betrayal. Every time someone shows affection, her guard rises before she even realizes it. To the casual observer, she looks strong. But beneath the mask, she's fighting a battle between her desire for connection and her fear of being hurt. Here's the problem: most men try to smash through those walls with constant reassurance or pushy persistence. But the harder you push, the higher her defenses rise. The smarter approach is patience and consistency. You don't force your way in. You let her see, over time, that your actions match your words. You show her that your interest isn't a performance, but a steady reality. When she finally lowers those walls, even a little, it's not by accident. It's because she's recognized that you're different. And at that point, the connection becomes real, not just another mask she's wearing. That's the truth about emotional walls. They aren't there to keep everyone out. They're there to see who's strong enough, patient enough, and steady enough to earn their way in. You ever had a woman trust you so deeply? It scared you. That quiet moment when she opens up about something she's never told anyone. And deep down, you know, if you fumble this, you won't just lose her. You'll break something she won't recover from. This isn't just about protecting her heart. It's about protecting the trust engine inside her. When a woman finally decides to open her heart, she rarely does it halfway. She gives fully her time, her energy, her secrets, her loyalty. Every word she shares and every act of kindness becomes a piece of herself that she places in someone else's hands. And when the wrong man slips into that position, the damage can be devastating. He doesn't just take her attention, he can take her confidence, her trust, even her sense of self-worth. Here's the tricky part. It's not that she doesn't notice the red flags. Often, she sees them. She senses when something is off. She hears that small voice in the back of her mind, warning her to slow down. But against all logic, she chooses to believe the better version of the story. She convinces herself that this time will be different. That hope, that willingness to give the benefit of the doubt, is what makes her vulnerable. Most men think this works in their favor. They assume blind trust means they've won her loyalty forever. But in reality, it's fragile. Once that trust is broken, she won't just question him, she'll question herself. She'll replay every choice, every ignored warning, and the guilt will cut even deeper than the betrayal itself. So how should you handle it if a woman begins placing that level of trust in you? The answer is simple but powerful: respect it. Don't play games with it. Because while her trust might seem easy to gain, it's even easier to destroy. And the man who honors it instead of exploiting it becomes the rare exception, the one she can actually build with, instead of the one she regrets. You're not competing with her ex. You're competing with a memory that's been edited by emotion. She doesn't remember the fight. She remembers the look in his eyes right before he kissed her forehead. And no matter how good you are now, she's still measuring you against a ghost that never made mistakes in her version of the story. She remembers the way he held her hand, the way his laugh filled the room, the way a single glance could make her feel like she was the only one. These moments replay in her mind like a favorite movie, one she refuses to turn off. But here's the catch: she often remembers the good far more vividly than the bad. The arguments, the disappointments, the betrayals fade into the background. What remains is an idealized version of the past, polished and perfect, even if it never really was. This is where many men get trapped. They meet her in the present, but they're unknowingly competing with a ghost, a memory that no living person can match. No matter how great you are, you'll be compared to a version of someone who no longer exists. And in her mind, that man has been rewritten into perfection. It's not about him anymore. It's about the story she's created around him. Most men make the mistake of trying to outdo the past. They overcompensate. They chase. They try to recreate the same feelings she once had. But that approach is doomed, because you can't compete with nostalgia. Nostalgia is an illusion. It edits reality and blinds her to what's right in front of her. The better move is to ground her in the present. You don't try to be her past. You give her experiences that are so fresh, so vivid, that they make the past feel small in comparison. The goal isn't to erase her memories, but to create new ones that carry more weight. Because when the present becomes brighter than the past, that ghost finally loses its grip. For many women, feelings don't just color reality, they become reality. If she feels ignored, then in her world, you are ignoring her, no matter what the facts say. If she feels loved, then in that moment, nothing else matters. Even if your actions don't fully align, her emotional state can be stronger than reason, stronger than logic, and stronger than truth itself. That's why she can fall in love with a depth that seems witless. Forgive betrayals she should never tolerate, or hold on to someone long after the relationship is over. It's also why her mood can shift so dramatically. One small trigger, a delayed text, a careless comment, a memory of the past can alter the way she sees you, not just for a moment, but entirely. Here's the danger for men. If you get pulled into her emotional reality, you lose your balance. You start reacting to her feelings instead of leading with clarity. One day, you're reassuring her endlessly. The next, you're defending yourself against stories she's built in her head. That cycle erodes your power, your confidence, and eventually the relationship itself. The solution isn't to dismiss her emotions or try to argue her back into logic. That never works. The smarter move is to stay grounded. You acknowledge what she feels without letting it dictate your behavior. You remain steady when she's in chaos. Because when emotions become her reality, the only thing that cuts through the storm is a man who refuses to be swept away. That's the paradox. Her deepest weakness, living through emotion, is also her greatest beauty. But only the man who stands firm in his own reality can handle both without losing himself. Now here's where it flips. Because you've seen all 10 patterns, but most men still won't act on them. So, if you're not just here to watch, but to lead, here's your next move. Now you've seen it, the 10 hidden principles that quietly shape how women think, react, and choose the men in their lives. From the craving for attention, to the spiral of overthinking, to the fear of being abandoned. Every one of these patterns is real. They don't make her weak, they make her human. But the truth is, most men never see them clearly. They get pulled into her storms, they lose their frame, and they end up frustrated, confused, and powerless. But you're different. You've stayed with me through this entire video, and that already puts you ahead of 99% of men. Because now, when you look at her behavior, you'll see the invisible patterns beneath it. You'll understand why she acts the way she does, and more importantly, you'll know how to respond without losing yourself in the process. Here's the bottom line. The strongest man is not the one who controls her. It's the one who controls himself. When you remain steady in your frame, when you refuse to be pulled into chaos, you become the anchor in her emotional world. That's what makes you unforgettable. That's what makes you the man she respects, the man she chooses, and the man she can't replace. So here's my challenge for you. Comment below with the words I lead if you're ready to take this knowledge and use it to guide your relationships with clarity and confidence. And the next time she suddenly pulls away, don't react the way you always have. Stay calm, keep your words light, and watch what happens. One small shift in your energy can trigger a completely different response from her. Share this video with a friend who's stuck in the cycle of confusion, because he needs it more than you realize. And if you want more content like this, hit subscribe right now, because this is just the beginning. The world respects the man who leads himself. The rest get left behind. Which one will you be? See you in the next video.